The movie opens in a quiet suburban neighborhood, sunlight streaming through kitchen windows, laughter echoing in the background. We meet Morgan Grant, played by Allison Williams. She's a woman who's learned to play it safe, a responsible mother, loyal wife, and steady friend. But beneath that perfect surface is a woman who wonders, what might have been? She became a mother at 18, giving up college dreams for her daughter, Clara, played by the brilliant Mckenna. Now, Clara's 17, confident, artistic, stubborn, and full of that restless energy that reminds Morgan a little too much of herself. At the start, their relationship feels distant, not hostile, but tense. Clara rolls her eyes when Morgan talks. Morgan worries too much, trying to protect her from every possible mistake. And then there's Chris, Morgan's husband. A good man, everyone says. Reliable, hardworking, the kind of dad who always remembers birthdays. The Grant family looks perfect from the outside, a model of stability. But like all Hoover stories, appearances lie. Morgan's sister Jenny, her best friend since childhood, is cheerful and impulsive, the opposite of Morgan's steady calm. She's married to Jonah, played by Dave Franco, and the four of them share a close, almost too close friendship. Barbecues, coffee mornings, family dinners, a small circle of trust. Until it all shatters. One quiet afternoon, Morgan is making dinner when the phone rings. A voice on the other end tells her there's been a car crash, a fatal one. 2 people dead. Morgan drops everything and rushes to the hospital. And when the doctor says the names, time stops. Her husband, Chris, and her sister, Jenny, both gone. The movie's sound design fades. We hear only her breathing, broken sobs, and silence. It's not just death, it's confusion. Why were they together? They'd said they were each somewhere else. At the funeral, Clara sits pale and motionless beside her mother. The grief is raw, but their reactions couldn't be more different. Clara idolized her father. She's angry at the world, angry at fate. Morgan, meanwhile, is numb, because deep down, something doesn't add up. Later, police reports confirm what Morgan already suspected. Chris's car was found miles away, near a motel. Jenny's things were inside. That moment, when realization hits, is the true breaking point. Morgan doesn't scream. She doesn't throw things. She just sits there broken, as tears slide silently down her face. Because she hasn't just lost a husband, she's lost her sister, her best friend, and her entire sense of truth. After the funerals, grief settles in like fog. Morgan barely speaks. She hides away the photos, packs Chris's things, and tells herself it's better this way. Clara doesn't need to know the truth. But Clara sees this as betrayal. To her, her mom's silence feels cold, like she's trying to erase her father from their lives. She doesn't understand that Morgan is trying to protect her. She only feels the distance growing wider every day. Clara starts sneaking out, skipping school, trying to escape the suffocating sadness of her home. And that's when she meets Miller Adams, played by Mason Thames, a boy from her school with a reputation for trouble. But Miller isn't what he seems. He's not a cliché bad boy. He's lost too. He understands pain. At her father's funeral, he shows up quietly, stands in the back, and when Clara runs outside in tears, he follows. That moment marks the beginning of something new. They talk. They share silence. They laugh again, something Clara hasn't done since the accident. And for a brief moment, she feels alive. Miller buys her weed, a small rebellion that gives her a taste of freedom. But it also marks a turning point. Morgan finds out, and she's furious. To Morgan, Miller represents everything she fears: the loss of control, the mistakes she once made. To Clara, Miller represents everything she's craving: connection, comfort, and escape. One night, while searching through Chris's old toolbox, Morgan finds something that freezes her in place: a stack of letters. At first, she thinks they're from work. Then she sees the handwriting. It's Jenny's. As she reads, her face falls apart. Every letter a confession of love, every page proof of betrayal. Her husband and her sister. All those late work nights, all the excuses, it all makes sense now. She breaks down completely, curling up on the floor, sobbing into her hands. This scene, played with devastating restraint by Allison Williams, is the emotional heart of the movie, the moment Morgan's pain transforms from grief into anger. But she doesn't tell Clara. She locks the letters away. And this silence, this decision to protect her daughter, only makes Clara hate her more. As Morgan sinks into quiet despair, Clara runs toward anything that feels alive. She throws herself into Miller's arms. Their chemistry is undeniable, innocent yet charged with raw emotion. He becomes her safe place. But even Miller isn't perfect. He's dating someone else, a college girl he doesn't really love, stuck in a relationship he can't escape. Still, with Clara, he feels real. They start sneaking around. Late-night drives, secret texts, soft kisses in the dark. But secrets always come out. When Morgan catches them together, it's explosive. She sees her daughter making the same mistakes she once did, falling too young, too fast, trying to fill the emptiness with someone else. Their argument is brutal. Clara screams that Morgan doesn't understand. Morgan yells that Clara is throwing away her future. And for the first time, Clara says it. "You're just mad because you regret your own life." The words land like daggers. Morgan walks away, heart shattered, because deep down, she knows her daughter isn't entirely wrong. Meanwhile, Jonah, Jenny's widower, returns to town with his infant son. He's broken, haunted by doubts about whether the baby is even his. Jonah and Morgan's friendship becomes a strange mirror. They're both grieving the same betrayal, both raising children who've lost their parents. They lean on each other, quietly, painfully, but unlike Chris and Jenny, they never cross the line. In one scene, Jonah admits that, despite everything, he still loves Jenny. And Morgan whispers, "I wish I didn't." It's a powerful reflection on how love and betrayal can coexist, how sometimes you can hate someone for what they did, but still ache for them. After learning the truth, finally discovering that her father was having an affair, Clara runs away. She finds herself at the old theater, a place she and her dad used to visit together. It's dark, empty, echoing with memories. She sits on the stage, tears falling, as she replays everything she's learned. Then Morgan finds her, and for the first time, there are no lies, no defenses, just two people, mother and daughter, facing the truth together. Clara admits that she's been lost, that she hates her father for lying, but hates herself for still loving him. She says she feels like him, broken, selfish, unfaithful, because she kissed Miller knowing he had someone else. Morgan takes her hand and says softly, "We are not our parents. We don't have to make their mistakes." She admits that she's been tempted too, that Jonah was there, and that she cared for him, but she chose not to act on it. Because love is about choice. The tears flow. The years of resentment melt away. Mother and daughter collapse into each other's arms, sobbing. This theater scene is the emotional climax, the point where regret transforms into forgiveness. In the film's final act, we see life slowly returning. Morgan smiles again. She forgives, not for the dead, but for herself. Clara and Miller continue their relationship, this time honestly, with Morgan's cautious approval. Jonah becomes a devoted father, deciding that love, not blood, defines family. In the closing scene, Morgan and Clara walk by the lake near their home. The sun sets behind them. A new day on the horizon. Clara takes her mother's hand. No words are spoken. They don't need them, because sometimes healing isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering without the pain. Regretting You is not just a story about infidelity or grief, it's a meditation on motherhood, forgiveness, and the fragile line between love and regret. It reminds us that even the strongest families can break, but they can also rebuild piece by piece if they're brave enough to tell the truth. It's messy, it's human, it's heartbreakingly real. And that's why Colleen Hoover's stories connect with millions, because she writes not about perfect people, but about people who are learning how to live with their imperfections. So, what would you do if you discovered your partner's secret after they were gone? Would you tell your child the truth, or would you protect them, even if it meant losing their trust? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you loved this deep dive into Regretting You 2025, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because we've got more Colleen Hoover movie breakdowns coming soon. Until next time, this is your channel name. And remember, sometimes the people we regret the most are the ones who taught us what love truly means.